Every day we have countless opportunities to nurture our child's spirits through the words that we say to them. But sometimes we find ourselves falling back on the phrases that we heard as children, even when we know that there might be a better way. This can damage your child and your relationship with them. As a psychologist who works with families and a mother of four myself, I've seen how changing just a few phrases that you say to your child each day can have a huge effect on their confidence and behavior. Today, I'll share with you a powerful communication approach backed by psychology research that will help you build your child's self-worth and strengthen your connection with them. We'll begin by exploring how to harness the incredible power of positive communication, transforming everyday interactions into moments that build confidence, resilience, and a strong parent-child bond. The way that we speak to our children shapes not just their day, but their developing sense of self. I'm willing to bet that words like happy and capable describe your goals for your child as they develop. And there's a branch of psychology that is dedicated to helping people get there. Have you ever heard of positive psychology before? Positive psychology focuses on strengths and positive emotions that empower people to move from surviving to thriving throughout their lives. Here's how I like to think of it. What kind of world do you want to live in? One where people speak kindly to each other and show love and respect? One where we give each other the benefit of the doubt and support those going through tough times with empathy? Me too. And it is possible. The vibe that you embody affects you and the people around you. This is the concept behind positive psychology. One way to visualize this is often credited to Reese Witherspoon's grandmother, and that is the idea of people being either radiators or drains. Radiators produce warmth and support other people, and these positive interactions boost other people's emotional reserves. In contrast, drains drain or take away the warmth and positive energy in a room, and these negative interactions weaken other people's emotional reserves. So our children will run into many drains in their lives, but we have the opportunity to be a constant radiator for them. My favorite way to illustrate this concept within the parent-child dynamic is this visual of filling buckets with water, which comes from the book, How Full Is Your Bucket? There's a picture book version for kids as well that's called How Full Is Your Bucket for Kids. The book offers a number of examples that are very tangible to kids. Things like your dog making a mess and having to clean it up, or your sibling knocking over a huge project that you were creating on accident or on purpose. And it shows kids how we can really help to fill other people's buckets throughout the day. It also shows how the words that we choose to say can perhaps unintentionally or intentionally take from other people's buckets. Today, I'll focus more on how we as parents can fill our children's buckets. And here are 3 specific examples of bucket-filling phrases for parents to use with kids. First, I saw how carefully you helped your little sister. That was so thoughtful. Second, you shared your toys without being asked. That was very generous. And third, your story had such interesting details. Tell me more about your characters. Now, doesn't it just warm your heart hearing those positive ways of communicating with your child? It warms our children's hearts too and has a positive impact on your child's emotional well-being. Research has repeatedly shown the benefits of positive parent-child communication. There's one style of parenting that is marked by positive communication where parents intentionally interact in a warm and responsive way with their children while also establishing firm behavioral boundaries. This style of parenting is called authoritative parenting. Research consistently finds that authoritative parenting style is the most effective parenting style to support optimal child development. For example, a recent meta-analysis, which is a type of study that pools the data and findings from a group of many related studies by psychologist Martin Pinkwart, found that authoritative parenting was the style least associated with externalizing problems in children and adolescents over time. Now, what that means is that kids raised by authoritative parents have fewer child behavioral problems. Research also consistently shows that they have better long-term mental health than kids from homes with other parenting styles. So they become adolescents who are less likely to abuse substances, show antisocial behavior, and have internalizing symptoms like depression and anxiety. These findings have been shown repeatedly in many different groups of kids and in many different countries with diverse value systems. So the benefits of authoritative parenting, which espouses this warm and responsive parenting style, are clear. There's more to authoritative parenting than just using positive language, though, and for that you can check out another video that I made on parenting styles. I'll link to that in the description below. I mentioned this research here to inspire you to use this warmth focus in your parenting and give your child a leg up by replacing limiting phrases with growth-focused language. Every day you speak to your child in a way that over time becomes their inner voice, the way that they think about themselves. So let's load your parenting toolbox with more positive phrases to use with your children. Here are some common parenting situations that produce opportunities for bucket-filling phrases. Effort. I noticed how hard you worked on that puzzle. You kept trying even when it was tricky. Learning. I love how you asked questions when you weren't sure what to do. Kindness. Thank you for helping to set the table. It makes such a difference when we work together. Creativity. I love how you use those colors in your drawing. What inspired you? Daily moments. I enjoy spending time with you. And challenging times. We'll figure this out together. I'd love to hear your favorite bucket-filling phrases in the comments. One thing that you may have noticed is how each of these positive phrases that I mentioned is specific to a very particular thing your child is doing well. So keep that in mind when you fill your child's bucket this week to be as specific as you can. Also note that each of these phrases can be stated sincerely when the praise is genuine. And that makes a big difference in how they are received and the weight that they carry. So even when our kids have a lot of tough behavior throughout the day, there are opportunities to find glimpses of good behavior. Use those to inspire your use of these phrases. Simply being intentional about using a few bucket-filling phrases each day can have a huge impact on boosting your child's confidence and feeling more connected with them. Next, let's cover some bucket-dipping phrases that you want to avoid and why they can be harmful. Here are some common parenting situations that produce opportunities for bucket-dipping phrases. Labels and comparisons. Why can't you be more like your sister? Dismissive responses. It's not a big deal. Absolutes. Why do you always do this? Threats and manipulation. Just wait until your father gets home. Shame-based. I'm so disappointed in you. And minimizing their effort. That's not good enough. These phrases can impact your child's self-worth and create negative internal dialogues for them, so they start to think of themselves in these ways. We do not want to take from our children's emotional buckets with these kinds of bucket-dipping phrases. Small shifts in our language can make a profound difference in our children's emotional development. When we consistently fill our children's emotional buckets, we help them to develop resilience and inner strength. Even though there may be times when you have to work hard to keep a phrase that you've heard before or maybe said many times before from slipping out of your mouth, picture that bucket over your child's head and remember, you have the power to fill it for them. Now, don't worry if occasionally you say something along these lines to your child. It's not going to cause permanent psychological damage. No parent is perfect, nor should they be expected to be. Use this information as a guideline for how you want to try to act as much of the time as possible. Occasional slip-ups when you're upset or exhausted happen. When these slip-ups happen, it is vital that parents take advantage of the learning opportunity that arises and make an apology in a way that really counts, which is why I prepared my next video for you on the power of apologizing to kids. Keep up the good work on your amazing parenting journey.